Hi, welcome. My name is Rene, and this is a YouTube channel dedicated to enhance the knowledge of dancing tango. If this is your first time here, I recommend you to go back a few lessons before, or if you have the whole time in the world, like most of us do now, I would highly recommend you to go to the first lesson ever. We already have 30 lessons, and all of them are very instructive and very useful if you really want to become a better dancer, in this case, a better tango dancer. As usual, I want to start this hour of practicing and learning, thanking you all for your constant support. It's very important for us that we are dedicated and we make our income based on the art and the culture to have that support. And not only for this program, but the other programs we do, which by the way are very interesting. I highly recommend you to join us in our virtual milonga, where we discuss about tango. We get together and we talk about the music, we talk about the steps, we talk about everything about tango. And that happens every Sunday at 7:30. And recently we have, well, it's already been the 11th week now, but every Saturday at 6 p.m. we release a new episode of the Tangling Tangos, which is a podcast that I just started, and it's very interesting, wonderful for me because I love tango in every form possible. And just this Saturday, it was very interesting for me because I had to learn a lot more of Juan de Dios Filiberto. Juan de Dios Filiberto was already one of my favorites, but I didn't know that I was going to find so much fun and so much interesting facts about his life, which I hope you enjoy. And if you enjoy these programs, please, once again, don't hesitate to contribute to these events and all this production that I'm doing, so I can move forward and produce more for you, especially during these times that we have to stay home for our own safety. So today we're going to have a combination of things. I really don't want to practice a few of the steps that we have already knew, but on the other hand, I really want to encourage you to work with the musicality, your musicality. Probably familiar for you is already the music that you're listening in the background. That, for your information, if you don't know what is this song, that is Bahia Blanca, which means White Bay. It's the name of a city in the southern part of Argentina. I've never been there, but they said that it's not a very nice place, but you know, it's the place where Carlos Di Sarli, who is directing this orchestra right now, was born. And because it was his hometown, for him, no matter if the place was not probably the most beautiful place in the world, he produced this wonderful, wonderful song that not only is musical, and it has so many elements that solely musically speaking, they're wonderful, but also for us dancers, it has so much color, so much embellishments that we cannot dance this without listening and without enjoying that part. So it's hard for me to give you a lesson and tell you what to feel, and that is not my intention. Actually, what I am trying to do, like I said in the previous lesson, I mean, since I've ever been doing musicality, is I just want to explain to you the way that I am listening to the music, which we all have our very particular way of listening to the music. However, in order to organize our movements, our body movements, I want you to think for a little bit like my brain thinks. And then you, as soon as you got that organization of your movements, then you're going to be able to do whatever you want, okay? So it's not that I am imposing my way of dancing to you. I am just making you understand the music how I listen to it. So to start, we're going to do a very simple step, which is Asakala and Molinete. We're basically reviewing a little bit of this movement. We're going to make it a little bit longer. We already knew how to do a few sakalas, but I'm going to explain a lot of them. First, we start with the movements of the gentlemen, the leaders, and before we even think of how to do this with our partner, I want you to train your own body listening to the music. So we're going to start by doing this, see? We're going to take a side step. And do you remember like the counting that we were practicing with? 1, 2, it was slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want you to try to remember. I'm going to do it so you can think about it in front of the camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can tell that the number 5 is coming in a diagonal line. It is not going straight forward, okay? So please take care of that, because that is going to be very useful. So when you're practicing this, I'm going to do it very, very slow. 1, 2. The number 3 is stepping in front of my other foot. The moment I'm about to do 3, 4, look how in the number 4, my leg that is coming forward, in this case my left leg, is displacing my knee. So it's moving my knee a little bit forward. I cannot do this just by doing that, okay? So we're going to try to make sure that bum, bum. So I'm going to do it again. Now that next step that I am making to the side, to this diagonal line that I'm asking you to do, is going to go like if I would prepare myself to go ice skating. When we ice skate, we usually want to keep the heel on the ground and press against the ground, right? If you have ever ice skated. If you're not, think of it as if probably we have seen ice skating, but I want you to, for now, try to focus in stepping with the heel. If you elongate, the elongation is correct if you go with the toes, but at the end you arrive with the heel. For now, we're not going to do the toes because I want to make sure that you are going to arrive all the time with your heel. So for that same reason, I want you to focus in going with your heel only. It's not going to be pretty. We're learning, we're training ourselves to do this. So if I try to do, I'm going to emphasize in that part because that part actually is the Asakala. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? When I ignite, when I'm going to step on that, in this case, right foot, I need to bring all my weight, all my axis is changing towards that side. So my belly button, my toe, and the middle part of my eyes has to be, all these points have to be aligned in one line. okay? Now, I send that energy to the leg of my dance partner. So her leg is traveling. I'm going to use my senses and the music. I'm going to talk about the music a little bit later, but I'm going to try to make sure that I am aware of that movement going here, and I'm going to arrive when she's arriving. Her leg is being displaced and she's going to a backward ocho. I'm going to arrive with her here, okay? And then we're going to lead her into, that is a back ocho for her. So I'm going to pivot her again to another back ocho, and all I'm going to do is a sandwich, and I'm going to keep dancing. I'm going to show that little by little, but for now, it's very important for me to it's very important for me for you to understand exactly how to do these steps. So I go to, that was my slow. Ti pi pi pa 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 pa. I'm going to do it from different angles so you can have a better view of what I'm doing. But this time I'm going to try to, once again, I want you to isolate what you're doing as leaders. We're not doing anything, we're not leading right now. I just want you to go with the music, because the music is part of your lead. You have to make the lady go to your speed, to whatever you want to go. If I'm dancing only the strong beat, that means the down beat, I would go like this. Pa, 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 pa. That is correct to do. I can still dance, I can still be very musical if I go doing just pa, beat by beat, pa, pa, pa. That is okay when we're learning how to move, but it's not if I am going to go to dance socially. It's the same thing, like imagine that I am an astronomy teacher and I'm asking you to explore the universe. I want you to explore the universe, and I want you to have conversations with your peers about the universe. I don't want you to repeat all the things that I'm teaching you about the universe. So in the same way, whenever you go to a milonga, you have to bring your own thing, your own ideas to the dance floor. So I'm teaching you a little bit how to let your body move and do, and let that conversation come out of you, not in words, but in movements. So look what I'm going to do. I'm going to count the steps 5, and then I'm going to count another set of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm giving you just an example. It doesn't have to fit that way, but I am trying to keep it doing some slow movements and some quick movements. I'm using that slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. If you manage to find whatever you want, you're going to be, once again, playing. Every time that you change the speed, you're telling your dance partner something interesting that she's going to, she's going to be surprised in a very pleasant way. if I dance monotonously, I keep going in the same beat, you know, it's going to be boring. So try to make your dance a little bit more enthusiastic, more interesting. So I'm going to focus in the first part, and then I'm going to explain how to keep going from there. Ba, da, 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 ba, 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 ra, ba. I'm singing the pa, pa, ra, pa, pa, because once again, if you cannot count, this pa, 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 ra, pa, pa is going to help you a lot. If you have to count, I hate to count, but if you have to count, you can count, okay? So I'm going to use the sticks to show you how the ladies' movements are going. I'm going to do it first in very slow motion, okay? The moment that we're doing that diagonal step, we are changing the structure of the system of walking. Instead of going parallel system, we're changing into cross system. What does that mean? That I'm skipping one step. I'm doing more steps than the lady is doing, okay? So she's doing 1, 2, 3, and here I'm doing the extra step and stepping here. So I'm going to displace her leg. 1, 2, 3, so I want you to be, for now, you're going to be focused in the second step backwards that she's doing. See? 1, 2. I step with her the number 3. While she's taking the number 4, I do my number 4 and then my number 5. See how when I am moving towards my right foot, I'm pivoting my upper body, and then that energy is sending her leg behind her. I know when that leg is going to arrive to the ground, and I'm going to step with her. It's kind of like I arrive and then I'm lifting her next foot. I'm going to move a little bit over here. I lift that foot and place it behind her in another for a backward ocho. I do sandwich. I invite her to come forward. Another forward ocho. I wait for the next beat and then I go. Okay, I'm going to explain later the musicality, but I just want to make sure that you understand what is happening. So we're going to do it one more time. 1, 2. Up until the 3, nothing major is happening. I lead the number 4 with my chest, but instead of taking the step with her, I place my left foot behind my right, and with the right, I'm going in a diagonal line. I displace that leg of the lady into a back ocho. I feel the energy traveling behind her. I step together with her, and then I'm catching this, her right foot, and I'm with my chest, I'm bringing it behind. I do a sandwich. That means the sandwich means that both my feet are on the sides of her left foot. I go behind me and invite her to come forward. One step, another step. This is hanging because I don't want her to step for that I am going to lift her up, and I finish 6, 7, and 8. Okay? Now, if I want to do this with that same, with the musicality that I'm asking you to do, I'm going to go a little bit playful. Bum, 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 bum. For now, we're just focusing in the part of the crossing that we are doing, okay? So that should feel a little bit like this. Bum, 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 bum. I know that it's very, at this point, working with the sticks, it's a little bit awkward, but that's the reality for now. I want you to try to even, that is just so you have a picture of what the ladies have to do. But if you're practicing this at home, I'm going to take this diagonal line. I would like you to move with the music. Chan, 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 chan. Chan, 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 chan. If you hear the music, even when you're not dancing, and you just count the beats and try to find the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 that I was asking you to do last week, you're going to realize how once again, the music by itself, Carlos Di Sarli's music is very elegant. It's very, you cannot dance Carlos Di Sarli too fast. See, if I would like to do everything like, I want you to, with my movements are doing D'Arienzo speed, not Carlos Di Sarli speed. It doesn't make sense, right? It feels like, Renee is dancing to something else. If I go too slow, I'm going to look exactly the same. Because we're learning that you're not going to have that feeling if I do it slow like I did it before. But I want you to make sure that you understand that the musician is giving you the speed to move. So, see, I can do just one syncopation during the sacada, following what he's organizing. If you can tell, it's like I'm opening the door to somebody, a lady, and I'm being very, very elegant, like, please. I know that nowadays probably some women are going to disagree with me, and they would say, Renee, we don't need nobody opening the door for us. But I just want you to have this image in your head that you're using your body language. If you're going to show somebody that direction, see, if somebody asks me, where is the metro station? I'm going to say over there. That's my body language being used as a sign, okay? In the same way, you're leading with your body. So when, after the sacada, I'm making a long pause, which I love doing in the music of Carlos Di Sarli. Look. Dam. Dun, dun, dun. Now, when I'm making this pause, my leg is completely elongated, the other leg. I'm waiting. And then when she's ready to go back, I step with her. And here, once again, I'm waiting and my leg is completely elongated. And I'm going to wait until she arrives and then I'm going to go. If I move slowly, naturally, she is going to move slowly as well. If I move too fast, or if I move just fast, she's going to try to follow that because that's her role. Her role is following. So if I'm doing something wrong, probably she's going to end up doing that something wrong. That doesn't mean, ladies, that you are going to be imposed the rhythm. You can change that by moving a little, moving with the music. But again, that is kind of like a message that you're going to send every now and then. You cannot control the dance. I mean, if both people are talking in a conversation, nobody's listening to each other. I have to talk, and the other person has to listen, right? I have to shut up, and then the other person talks, and I have to listen. So I want you to have this interaction, but just moving your body, okay? Or at least try to practice that. Now, one important thing that I want to share with you leaders is that even though you're leading, if you don't switch your weight completely, see, every time, if you have any doubt about this, go back, lesson number 3, just to have the picture how to find your axis. There's a lot of exercises there. But what I was trying to say is, I want you to worry very much in the line that you're making from your core to the tip of your shoe. Every time that you're switching your weight, and see how, like, I worry about this line. This line is defining my movement. If I just move like this, my balance is hesitant. If my balance is hesitant, my dance partner is not going to find comfortable to do the things that later I'm going to ask her to do, okay? So the moment that you give her support, because your body is like well planted on the ground, she's going to be willing and more confident of doing a lot of other things. I want you to be that leader that allows the lady to express herself. If you just dance like the engine of a train, it's not fun. I mean, if I don't listen to the lady that I'm dancing with, it's not fun. So that ability to listen, that ability to give her time, welcome her embellishments, and play with her is what makes you a good dancer, not just the steps that you're making. Actually, most women don't like the steps. They just want a very good embrace and somebody that is like playing with her and enjoying these teeny tiny little things, the movement, the embrace, the confidence that they are feeling. They don't care about the steps. So the steps are cool, but if you're going to do them, and you can do a lot, do them playfully. Do them giving her the space to do something, okay? So, I was talking about the balance and when that is coming. Right after I'm doing pa, 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 I stretch that. When I switch to the next back ocho, I stretch. When I'm going to the sandwich, I stretch both legs. My weight is, in this case, in between, up until she stops. Then I step here, and then when I'm going back, once again, my legs are completely straight. I cannot do the sandwich doing this. look at my standing knee. I'm sitting down. If for some reason somebody hits me, I'm going to lose my balance. And as a consequence, my dance partner is going to lose her balance. So the sandwich is never, in any position in tango, you have to have your knee that bent, okay? I don't want you to do this. I want you to have both legs firm on the ground. Your adductors are working. Your abductors are working to keep you in your body in that nice posture. I go do the sandwich. When I'm going behind, my legs are elongated. I'm trying to stay tall, and from there I move my dance partner, and I keep moving my center from one foot to the other. My knees are soft, but if I moved here, the other leg is completely, it's like tense, like a cable in a bridge. Okay? If you don't tense that leg is going to be a little bit, flaky, and it's going to make you look not good. And as a consequence, your partner is not going to feel good. So, what the ladies have to do, let's go to that part. And I want the leaders to keep listening to me because I'm going to give you a lot of information. Ladies, for you to practice this is, you're not doing anything special. You're going side, back, and here you're going to immediately feel that your leg is being displaced. The first thing I want you to feel is that no matter how much energy the gentleman is giving you, you're never going to lift your foot off the ground. Keep your foot, it's like you're caressing something with the tip of your finger, right? In this case, it's my finger. But when you're doing the exercise, you're going to caress with your shoe the ground. Okay? Now, the sacada is something that happens in between your legs, side, back. The gentleman's foot is going in between your legs. So I don't want you, if you feel that the leader is hitting your leg, that's completely wrong. We can never touch the legs of the followers as leaders. So make sure that if you feel anything from the leader, like touching, that's a little bit aggressive. So I want you to let that leader know this is not good, okay? So it has to feel like a magic energy is making go behind that, making that leg go behind. See, once again, I dance beat by beat, assuming that we are all beginners. I dance beat by beat, and that's how the movement would look if you're a beginner. If I want to add a little bit of flavor, and that depends on the leader at first, see, if the leader goes dum, 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 bum, 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 bum. You have also this opportunity of doing your own thing. I'm going to explain all these movements that I have just done. The moment that you feel that there is a sacada, most ladies do this. I want you to control that movement, And that's when I want you to listen to the music. This is as a follower, not in the way that the gentlemen are doing it. So I want you to practice to do 1, 2, 3. How do I do that? Look at my foot. 1, 2, 3. Basically, the shape of the movement is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That part is happening when the gentleman is doing this. Pa, pa, pa. So, in that portion of the music, you have to move that leg. It is agile. It's not just fast. You cannot do something like this. It has to go with the energy that the leader gave you. It has to go with the music. So there is a little thing there that requires your intellect to work and to measure the movement. It's not just about the movement, to know how to do the movement. You have to know the moment that you have to do the movement. So I'm going to show you once again. I feel the sacada. Because the leader is waiting. A good leader is going to wait. Sometimes if you get too late, he's going to wait for the next beat and go with you, okay? But don't take for granted that the leader is going to wait for you. You still can, steal that from any leader. Steal that, and when I say steal, is this to steal that from the music, from the timing that the music is giving you, okay? So don't stop just because you're dancing with a leader that's not listening to you. Don't stop doing your thing. So the first exercise. In the second, see, you feel that he's going to take you to a back ocho. You can lift and go. This lift, if you lift here, I'm going to do it in the front of the camera. If you lift here and the gentleman is here, he's going to get a lot scared. So try to go away. See how I'm kicking in relationship with this line. I'm giving you ideas. If you don't like to do this kick, you don't have to do it. But the more you practice these movements to fit the music, the better you're going to fit other movements or this same movement in other portions of the dance. So even if you don't like it right now, try to practice the timing. Pa, pa. Quick, slow. So, once again, I'm the follower, and I'm going to do both exercises. 1, run, dun, 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 dun. Sandwich. See how everything looks completely different from the first exercise I did. And in this one, after this movement, you are in charge. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. You're going to feel probably the tension that the leader is giving you by inviting you to go over his foot. But you can hold him and tell him, wait a second, I'm going to take my time here. And what I want to do, I'm taking more time today explaining all these details of the musicality and the steps. So I'm not going to do a footwork. So, but when you're doing this part, look at my foot, how I'm doing it. I go toe, toe, toe. Then here, I'm going little toe. I'm sorry, I meant to say big toe, big toe. Then I turn. See how my ankle is being bent? And then little toe. I stretch again behind me, and I change to big toe, and I finish the exercise. Okay, so if you see it once again, it would look like this. Okay? Once again, if you're not really good at doing that, if you didn't understand what I meant, go back to lesson number 3 and review a little bit of that. We have a lot of those movements in that portion of these virtual lessons. So you have arrived to this point. Now, I'm going to do this with my back against the camera. See, in order to lift and collect your feet, you have to lift your center. And by collect my center, I mean lifting also my heels. So here I am ready to ba, ba, ba. For that thing that I just did, you require a little bit of balance. If you rely on the leader to do this, it feels uncomfortable. It's going to feel uncomfortable for you, and it's going to feel uncomfortable for the leader. So make sure the leader is still giving you some kind of support, but if you grab the leader, it's going to feel awkward. So always practice this as if you're dancing with an invisible leader. I lift myself up as far as I can, and then keeping that balance, I'm going to go ba, 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 and then walk. If you cannot do it by yourself, stick. I'm going to try to keep my axis straight though. I'm doing ta, 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 and ta, which is, remember I told you, the organization of my embellishments as a follower are different of the ones of the leader as a leader. So the leaders were doing slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. You're doing quick, quick, slow, slow, slow. 1, 2, 3. Remember last week I spoke about that set of 3 and that set of 5. Don't try to do 5 and the 5 all the time. In this case, I just want you to focus in 3. You arrive here, boom. You're ready to do it, I wait for the next beat. Da, da, da. And that's it. So if I do the whole thing, dun, 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 dun. Of course, it looks very nice and musical and, you know, how can I say, elongated. And most of you ladies that are looking at me, you're going to say, oh, but you, Renee, you have a gift, you're so talented. You have to learn how to move your body. And to begin doing that, even in my head, when I'm saying that, I am remembering, these thoughts are coming to my head. Every time, if you have ever taken a lesson with me, every time I tell you, take your time. Don't be so, this cannot happen immediately. You really have to practice this. And, you know, it's like I want you to practice, when you practice this, I want you to be patient with yourself. If that doesn't happen, this exercise is never going to come to you, okay? So when you're practicing, listen to the music. Listen to the music. The music is telling you exactly what you need. I'm going to do it like if I would be dancing in a crowded milonga. Whenever you're learning, I am going to emphasize that you do everything large. Whenever you're going up, I'm going to emphasize that you lift your center as there's no tomorrow, as you're about to fly. That you lift your heels as far as you can. But when you're actually dancing, you're not going to have that much space, not much space to go up, because probably you're going to be dancing with a gentleman that is not the height of your instructor, or not the height of the wall that you were practicing with. You're not going to have enough room around you to do all these elongations that you probably practice in your living room. But they are easy to make compact if you keep practicing them. The moment that you stop, and that's one of the things, the next thing I'm going to say, the moment that you stop practicing or thinking about this, your dance becomes like having, I don't know, having a meal without any salt or any pepper or any condiment that is making it taste better. It becomes flat. There's nothing wrong with flat, but flat is the language of that. Even the musician is like adorning the organization of the sounds. We all know that it's 2 times 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But that's boring if I count just like that. But there is a melody behind. Now, that melody is, you can capture that melody in order to dance that melody. At first, you can practice this counting 1, 2, 3. Eventually, in the case that you're dancing with a gentleman that is all ears, that he's listening to whatever you have to say, and you want to experiment a little bit, see how I'm going to do it now. From the Asakala. Pam, pa. The leader is here with his axis on this side. He's waiting because I'm asking him to wait. This leg of yours go to this spot, and then he's going to switch his weight, right? So if you go, and by melody I mean di da 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 dee da dee. So, and he's going to move. Then I'm going to be here. See how I made it go very slow together with that melody. Now I'm here, sandwich. Da dee da da dee da da, ra ta 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 ta. Pa pa pa. Bam bam bam. I can wait here. See how I'm not leading the dance, but I am requesting, give me a little bit more of time. This is too beautiful to skip. So that is the conversation that I would like to have. I would like both of you to have. Wait, look what I can do. Look how I can play with it. Can you play with me? So many times I have danced with a lot of women that would like to do this, but they feel like they are afraid. And then this feeling afraid becomes like, I better not do it because, you know, probably I'm going to make a mistake. Make mistakes. That's part of life. Every day we're making some kind of mistakes. Nothing can be perfect completely, right? But I want at least you to try. Once again, if it happens to you that you're dancing with a gentleman and he has been taught not to wait for you, not just to do the movement like a soldier and keep going, how can I say that's not bad? It's probably not the way that I am asking you to do things. But to me, once again, it's like an empty wall. It's going to always look nicer if you put something on that wall. The wall by itself, it's not cozy. It doesn't say anything. I want you to, with your movements, I want you to say something. The more that you say, the more interesting everything is going to be. I'm not going to say that all the movements are beautiful, but the more interesting they are, the more beauty is to produce. The more empty, there is just that emptiness. I mean, when something is just empty, it's neutral, it's not ugly, it's not beautiful, it's just plain. So try to play with that, okay? Let me show you, this is just for information only. Let me show you what the leaders are doing with their feet. Once again, the lady shoe is the right foot, the gentleman shoe is the left foot. So I'm going to do this without doing the syncopation because I don't want you to think in any other thing but okay, now I'm going to try to do the embellishments as they come. Again, I'm not doing this fast. The gentleman does the crossing, oh, I'm sorry. So, side step, you just walk back, the gentleman is going to do a syncopation and he's going to go, his foot is going to try to reach the back part, the back side of your right foot. And see, only by switching his weight, your leg immediately gets displaced. Then you're arriving after you do your embellishment, you're arriving and he arrives with you. He switches you. You can do another one here. Sandwich. Goes on both sides. He goes back and then you can do that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8. As you can tell, these exercises are helping you to a little bit not focus so much in the step and the musicality only. They are elements that I want all of you to have in order to create this conversation between the leader and the follower. I want you to both be aware of what can you do. You both are, like I was explaining before, You both are like this empty wall. You both are in, if you want to, you can fill this wall with a lot of interesting things, but it depends on both of you. When I'm dancing with a lady and she's saying something to me, immediately I feel like, you know, I have to say something as well. I want to feel. And that wanting to feel is what makes this intimate dance so interesting. If I just dance using formulas that I have been giving you all this time, but if I don't allow anything other than the formula, as the teacher said, I'm never going to be able to, once again, add myself to that. This is an exercise that I'm asking you to do, but at the end, and you know, it's a formula. I'm giving you a formula. I'm giving you the possibilities that you have here and there, but at some point you're going to own it and you're going to feel it. Oh, you know, I'm going to use my technique in order to feel something. I'm not going to use my technique just to get the movement perfectly done. Perfect is the wall as it is. It has nothing wrong with it. But it's not interesting unless it has some interesting picture. So, or a house. Look at your house. Look at, right now, look behind your house. Probably you're going to find certain things that you have placed carefully. Your artwork, the way that you have covered your windows or uncovered your windows, the way that you like you like your lighting, probably the kind of furniture that you have. All of these things are things that you have added. Everything, every piece that you have in the walls, in every piece of furniture, they are sending a message to the people that live in that house. They are sending a message to you. You feel comfortable with those things. In the same way, when you're dancing, you have to create this atmosphere that is welcoming to the other person that you're dancing with. If there is this feeling only that I have to follow or I have to lead, once again, nothing is going to happen. That's the reason why I don't really like when women say, oh, but that depends on the leader. That is, oh, I didn't do that because he didn't lead me. Or I didn't lead that, I mean, I didn't do that embellish because he didn't give me time. Or he was off the music. I want you to always think that this is something that you have to do together. It takes two to tango. And both of you have the same responsibility in order to achieve this correctly. I understand. Probably both of you, if you're listening to this and you're watching this video, you both want to learn. But you have to, I'm not going to be tired to repeat this, you have to communicate, you have to say something, okay? And this lesson was all about that communication that you have to share, okay? So, when it comes to practice this, both leader and follower, I want you to, with the music apart, you don't right now, to practice, even to communicate your part, you don't really need, it's like I'm asking you to give a speech with nobody as an audience, and just to say whatever is coming to your head as if somebody would be listening to you. Eventually, somebody, your dance partner, is going to be listening. So, because you have prepared your speech, you're going to have something really cool to say, something really interesting to say. It's going to be rehearsed a little bit, okay? So the same thing with you ladies. Try to, all the exercises that we did today, try to practice them. Do them fast. Make them, force them in order to arrive in just one set of beats. Make them go a little bit slower in 2 beats, or make them last forever doing the melody. The melody is like long, la 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 la, and then changes, right? And everybody understands that in the music. That's the reason why we love tango. The tango music is so very complex, it's very inviting, so try to play with those things. If you don't do the job of controlling the movements, you cannot expect to feel something immediately. Your body needs to learn the language, how to move, how to express certain things, and then you're going to start feeling that that was something special there, okay? And then you're not going to even think about the movements. You're just going to like do them, and once again, this feeling is going to be so easy transferable to the other person that it's going to be wonderful, out of this world. And that goes to the leaders as well. We don't dance the melody that much, but if I dance correctly, if I lead, when I'm leading something that is probably, I don't know, a back ocho, but if I lead it with all my body, with all my upper body, and then I take that back ocho in an elegant way, a safe way, and firm, without hesitation, the lady is going to forget that she needs to embrace you, or she's going to forget about balance. And you, once again, you're going to feel something that is like, oh, I need to move in more elegant, in a lot more different elegant ways. If my axis is correctly placed, everything is going to be like magic. So, you have to dance. You have to communicate. You have to feel. For that is that looking forward to that is that I designed this little exercise, hoping that you might achieve by thinking, I'm inviting you to come inside my brain in order for you to like see what I do, and later on put this in your head, and with your own ideas, with your own feelings, with your own movements, get your tango dancing to a next level. So that would be the lesson for today. I know today I spoke a lot, but these things I need you to understand. It's not just, tango is not about the movement only, or the steps. Tango, it's a lot more than that. So I needed to do it so you can understand. Slowly, we're going to try to keep working in the musicality and the steps. With all the steps that we have, we're going to try to count those sets of 5, those sets of 3, in order to make the movement a little bit longer, not just 1, 2, 3, and then it's gone. We're going to try to move into like a longer count of steps. Okay, so don't miss the next lessons. They're going to be a lot of fun. Well, like I said earlier when I started the lesson, don't forget that we have a lot of exciting things that we're doing lately. We have these lessons that happen every Sunday at 6:30. At 6 o'clock. They are there's a premiere every Sunday. We have a podcast where we talk about the lyrics of tango. It's called the Tangling Tangos. It's on Spotify, it's on Anchor, and it's on iTunes, I think it is called. It's in a lot of platforms, so you just have to look for it and go to my Facebook page in order to read the last episode and get the link to the last episode I posted. And we have the virtual milonga every Sunday at 7:30. where we talk about steps, we talk about tango, we talk about musicians, we talk about composers, we talk about just the music or alternative music for tango, and etc., etc. We see each other, so it's a lot of fun. Don't get away from them. Listen, watch, join, stay in community. We need to keep doing this for a while, okay? Well, thank you so very much, and I will see you in a little bit in our virtual milonga. Bye.